So we're fine now, we think?
Yeah, you sound great.
We're good.
Okay, cool.
Upgrade complete.
All right, I like it. That was good. I like this angle better too, Colin. I don't know what you switched from to, but this is a better. You went from
He's
one
GoPro
side to
right
the
now.
other. This is your good side.
Oh,
Mm.
thanks.
Colin's right side is his good side.
But he does look like the guy in the chair. He's got the computer
Yeah.
visible now, and you could see
It's
the
legit.
when you start
There's
looking.
like-
If you're looking at anything inappropriate on that Mac, people are gonna know, man.
I can't see another computer,
No,
but
there's nothing that's going to be
I
on
see
there
a
except for the soundboard. That's strictly soundboard computer.
okay,
Keyboard only. All right.
weird. Okay, well, we should do a podcast.
Which
Should
one?
we?
Oh, it's not time for that yet. That's for sure.
Ah,
Now he's going to pick
Man.
and choose.
What's
wow.
Too
We're getting picky
early.
now.
What are you guys up to?
I don't know.
We got to
Have you
edge
ever-
people. Like, you can't just let them know that fast.
Yo.
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't just click on the icon that says they know what we're going to talk about
is-
already, and we don't yet. So,
that's a good point.
That's good for them.
Yeah.
uh, so how's everybody doing?
Good. How about you guys?
Good.
It's been a minute. I haven't been here for a while. I have been just kicked in the butt with work. And then like summertime activities have been insane.
It's good. I'm glad that you're getting some summertime activities in.
Yeah, well, I didn't like all of them. Some of them have been expensive and also annoying. So you get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
Okay. Well,
Which is fine.
Jesse
It's fine.
has been saying that he's been working 12-hour days for the last month, and then I just realized he's also working 2 days a week. So I feel much less bad for him.
Yeah. Well, hey, wait a
Not
minute.
2
I've been
days a
working-
week.
How many days did you work last week? Did you say?
Last week was 5 days.
No. You changed before we got on the air.
Last week was 5 days. The week before was 3 days
Mhm.
because that's the weekend I took Thursday, Friday off for my birthday, my
Okay.
40th.
I mean, yeah, it's a
So-
good reason to take time off. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've been 13 to 15-hour days, but like 3 of those in a week and then 2 regular days, which has been like whiplash. And then I'd have one day where I have like I'm off work by 3, and then one day where a job canceled in the morning and I only had an afternoon to work, and then another 13 or 14-hour day where it's just been all over the place. It seems like the real estate market is a yo-yo right now,
Makes sense.
because I'll have doing home inspections. I'll have like a $5 million property with 2 houses and barns and a shop, and they only told me about the first house, but then they asked me to do the second house, and then so I'm like trying to do 3 full inspections in a day, and then I'll have this like 1940s remodeled 7 times by a guy named Bob who didn't know what a hammer or a screw was, and it's worth $220,000 in this market, and it's like borderline actively on fire. And then I'll have a brand new construction house that takes, an hour and a half to complete completely. And I am leaving the door every morning with a, who fucking knows? Today could be whatever today is. And I'm trying to get by with it, which is frustrating. I think if I knew that it was going to be a hard day, I could mentally prepare for it and just go after it. But I just haven't. I'm like, I don't know. It looks like today's going to be a great day. Last Wednesday, I was ready for the podcast, and I was like, this is going to be an easy day for it. I have jobs scheduled that should be just fine. And I ended up working until 11 p.m. trying to get the jobs out because I had more jobs the next morning.
Jeez. That is.
So it's great.
Well,
It's
you
good.
know,
It's fun.
at least you got work, I guess, right?
Yeah, right?
Mhm.
Now I'm just here ranting.
Yeah.
I also bought a Jeep, though, and
Oh,
all
yeah.
of that.
Yeah, tell us about this Jeep.
back and forth.
I don't know anything about it. It just showed up in our group thread, and I was
Yeah.
like, seems like there might be more story to this.
This is a good a lucky find. All right, I've wanted a YJ for forever. I've really thought that they would be neat. I've worked on all kinds of other Jeeps. I've never had a YJ. My dad had one when I was in high school, but he gave it to my brother to drive, and I had to buy my own car, which I'm not sore about anyway.
We haven't heard that story before. We did.
No,
Not at
we
all.
Never.
multiple
But
times.
go ahead.
And so now I have one, and it's mine. But it's a 91 YJ. I bought it from a guy who apparently builds pre-runners. And so he had like 3 pre-runners, an OBS F-150. He had a couple of Rangers in his shop. And then he had this Jeep. And he had traded like a bone stock Ford Explorer to an old guy down the road who could no longer get in and out with his wife. And so they, sold it to him, and he had dementia. And he's just telling me all these stories. And I'm like, oh, yeah, all right. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'll look it over, and I'm going to pick what I want, and I'll decide how to go from there. And so I'm starting to look at it, and it's got a Dana 44 swap from a Cherokee in the rear. And I'm like, well, that's pretty good. And it's got a slip yoke eliminator. And I was like, okay, well, that's positive. And you can see fresh RTV on the transfer case, and all the bearings that you can get to look new. And I'm like, okay, well, that's solid. And then it's got a AX15 manual transmission that rattles whenever the clutch is out. So clutch in, no rattle, no noise. Clutch out, tons of noise. It sounds like, it sounds like a rod knock. It's just nuts.
It's not the
but
throwout
it's
bearing?
complete. It's not. That's how I got it. So I got it for $3,000. This guy's like, I don't know anything about Jeeps. I don't know anything that's going on. So $3,000. And I was like, great. Seems worth that to me. It's got like new best top seats in it that are like dusty, but they're new. No wear marks on them or anything. And it was old guy Jeep owned. So I'm finding spare parts under the seat where it's got spare U-joints. It's got spare C-clips. It's got the bolts that would go on the bottom of the U-bolts. It's got like all kinds of different things as cool spares just hidden throughout the Jeep. So
Hidden spares.
well, yeah, and that's what I did. On my Cherokee, I had a pair of axles under the back seat because I knew the fronts were going to break with my 35s, and it's like old guy Jeep stuff.
The difference is when you sell yours, you're telling people that those parts are there.
Right. Yeah. and I'm telling people about all the stuff because this guy didn't know it had a Dana 44. He thought it had a 35 rear. He didn't know it had a high pinion 30 front. He thought it, he's like, I didn't know any of this stuff. And he's a smart enough car guy that when he heard the rattle, he thought to himself in the trade, it's just a throwout bearing, I'll replace it. So he got in there and replaced the throwout bearing, and it still rattled. And so it's got a brand new throwout bearing, and it still makes the same noise. Turns out the other issue it had was that it was stuck in 4 low because the detent ball on the end of the spring had like almost come all the way out, and it had wallowed out the hole. And so it wouldn't go very fast, and it made a shit ton of awful noise. And he was just like, nope, I don't know Jeeps enough. I'm out. I quit.
Wow.
So I went out there and I checked it out, and I started looking into stuff. And one of the things I noticed right off the bat was that when I got it home, the arm for the transfer case shifter was backwards. It was installed down when it should have been installed up. So whoever had been working on it had tried to, or maybe it was the other way around. It was backwards to what it was supposed to be.
Got it.
And so when you were trying to get it into 2 high, you're actually putting it into 4 low. And so then to get it the other way, it can't go far enough before it hits the case. And so you can't ever even get to 2 high because the arm's in the wrong spot and it hits the case. So people have just been bashing on this shit for a while, including myself, trying to get it into 2 high. Just like, no, it needs to go just a little further and it'll work. So I got everything out, tore the transfer case apart, took the transmission out, started checking like the front bearing for the output shaft or the input shaft on the transmission. And I'm trying to figure out all these different things. Bearings are new. That transmission has been just rebuilt. It's also got fresh RTV. I've got some inspection through the fill plug and all that stuff. Everything looks golden. All the yellow metal is like new and shiny. It's got like break-in levels of grit in it, but nothing chunky or bad. So the transfer case and the transmission have been completely rebuilt recently. Not a lot of miles on them. And the bearings were actually fine because that's what I was thinking is that I brought it over here and talked to Tyson, and we were both kind of in the conclusion that some of the transmission bearings are probably bad, but they're new. Like they're pretty decent. I get into the clutch area, and guess what? It's got a center force weighted clutch. And you know what some of the weights are? Not fucking attached.
That's a problem.
So the rattling is when you so they're still in, and they're kind of where they're supposed to be. And when the clutch is in, it puts pressure on it, and it lets it sit against it. And when the clutch is out, it just rattles around because the weights. But if you get it up to like 5,000 RPM where the weights start to do their job, the rattle goes away. And you're like, turns out that was the issue. And so now I'm going to put it all back together because I took it all the way apart. I know.
I know, dude. You keep zooming in and out. It's really fucking funny.
I'm not.
You
I'm going to
got
keep
really
it the whole time.
serious and it just zoomed right in on your face.
You like that?
Oh my god.
So now I've got to put it all back together, and I think it will work. I just have to redo the transfer case linkage because they cut and welded and added a bunch of stuff and took a bunch of stuff away, and it is problematic as it sits because it was backwards and made to try and work with that. But once I get the linkage redone, put it all back together, cut all the weights off because otherwise it'll work as a regular clutch. Center Force says their weights work from 5 to 7,000 RPM. And if my 4-liter is at 5,000 RPM, I am already doing things wrong. So
Those things redline that low?
No, but you shouldn't be driving in a position where you need the extra weight of a weighted clutch in something in that high of RPM. If anything, you'd want it at the lower RPMs when you're, 4 low and grindy. I think it's like 6,000 or 6,100.
All right.
But yeah, so, and I got on a bunch of forums and read a bunch of stuff, and all the Jeep people are like, cut the weights off. Cut them off right away. We're not making 2,000 horsepower at the back end of a drag strip that needs RPM-based additional weight at higher RPMs. So there's that.
So why not just throw a stock clutch in it and call it good since you have it open?
Clutch is good. There's nothing wrong with it. Pressure plate looks good. The clutch itself looks good. It's just weights on the fingers of the pressure plate. And so all you got to do is cut a wire that attaches all of them, and then you slide them all off, and they come off without any issue. I mean, it doesn't modify anything. It'll just work like a regular pressure plate at this point, because they are just regular pressure plates with weights that pull out when it has high RPM.
With the angular momentum.
Yes. The circular convergence of the gravitational confluxion.
Okay.
So anyway, now I have a Jeep.
Okay.
Cool.
And
You got your YJ.
So I want to play around with it a little bit, see what happens, and then either if I fall in love with it, I got to figure out how to make the money happen. If not, I got to sell it, and it should be worth more than I bought it for when it has a top and clutch doesn't sound like it's exploding.
Well, I know which option I'm assuming is going to happen.
You think I'm going to keep it forever? You don't think I'm ever going to sell it and I'll have it until the end of my days? That's kind of what I was thinking too.
Mm.
I gotta know.
No, it's
That's
fun.
sitting right here.
I know.
That's a good idea.
I know. And I've got leaf springs that are just looking for tons. Nope.
Yeah.
And what's frustrating is, especially if this transmission turns out I put everything back together and it's good, the AX15 should handle a stock LS without really any issue. That manual transmission is the same one they put behind the Magnum V8s and all kinds of stuff in Dodges, and it should be fine, hypothetically.
The Camaro went before this?
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
Unrelated.
Yeah,
There was just an open spot in the garage.
Well, no, it is related because it was red.
They're both red.
Oh, good
Yeah,
point.
Yeah.
but now I have
And so
two.
was the Jeep that he got rid of to get this Jeep.
No. The Jeep that I got rid of got the white truck,
Right. But
then
then it
Oh, that
opened the
was-
door for another red Jeep
right. Yeah.
It's just a revolving
I like to
door.
have red convertibles. I have two of them.
and a red Miata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have two of them.
Mike's favorite car color is red.
Turns out, not on purpose. It was white all the way up until it turned red.
Get to a certain
so-
age.
Right?
Fun.
What else? Anybody have any
Did
other?
anybody else sell and buy a car in the meantime? Since we've been
Yeah.
I
gone?
just had to buy parts
For
What'd you get?
for the Toyota, for the crawler. Because while we were out for my 40th, I snapped my driver's side outer stub shaft on the front axle.
That's a good 40th birthday present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 140 something bucks on the good old.
Happy birthday!
Yeah. And the surprising thing is nobody heard it. And it had to have happened on.
Well, it's hard to hear when the rest of your car is crashing up against rocks. There was no
Yeah, that's
redlining.
true.
It was just him slamming against
Just him slamming?
giant rocks.
Yeah. I figured out on that trip, I feel like I'm probably about 6 inches too long
That's what she said.
and about 2 inches too
Oh,
short.
what is she doing? Wait
She
a
also said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, intrusive thoughts tell me to cut the frame down a little bit, do the body swap that I want to do, but I definitely need to go up about 2 inches, get 42s. It'd allow me for that. And then
I've heard you can't lose on those.
Yeah.
Can't lose
can't lose on
42s.
42s unless you're 6 inches too long.
Well,
I think even when you're 6 inches too long, you're only then. If you're going from 40s, wait, you're in 38s now, right? You're on
They're
40s.
40s. They're
Okay,
39,
so if you're-
39 and a half, 39 and a half.
So they're
inch high
39s.
rocks.
So you're going to 42s. That's 3 inches on each side, in which case you are now no longer too long. That takes your 6 inches and you're good.
We'll see. So
That's math.
Well, he's in the same place, basically.
yeah,
Yeah, but the tires are getting closer to each other.
Yeah,
And therefore,
Good point.
therefore I'm less long.
It is a long
And then,
truck.
It is really long. And the other thing that kept happening was
okay.
congratulations.
They say to the guy with the crew cab truck.
Yeah.
Your wheelbase might be less than
I
his.
have a crewer cab
Right.
truck. Yeah.
yeah.
2 crew cabs over here. My truck's long. It's a single cab.
So long.
But
Yeah.
then the other thing that kept happening was I kept overheating
Mm,
due to my lack of a shroud.
Well, don't you have an LS right over there?
I do.
good idea.
Better wouldn't overheat.
I don't know that it was lack of shroud necessarily.
Well, it was between that.
I think you didn't have enough coolant in it.
Oh,
Interesting.
Oh,
you're not checking your
Well,
fluids, huh?
it's somewhere in between. No, because it overheated day one, and so we stopped, burped it. That's when I went, and everything was fine. And that's when we went and did. Was it a can crusher? Was it? That's the name of it, right, Colin?
Can
opener.
and you've got the story wrong already.
Jesse
You
was
were
drunk.
overheating on the first day,
Yeah.
and it only overflowed a little bit, like enough to slightly overflow above the overflow of your Gatorade bottle, which is
Yeah.
a small overflow.
Overflow.
Gatorade.
And
Oh,
then
no, it's
when we got back and went to cool it down and then go to fill it back up, there was nothing in the top tank of the radiator. Now, granted, radiator
blew
is
out.
small. It's a small system, so there's not a ton in there, but you did not lose the amount that it would take for that thing to be dry in the top tank.
Is it
So
a head gasket?
then we were filling
No.
it up and burping it, and it seemed okay, at least for long enough for you to go and try can opener.
Why isn't it a head gasket? Why aren't you burning coolant?
because I
How do
just
you
did
know?
the head gasket.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So they're prone to issue.
No, they're not.
Well, yours is. You just did it.
22 REs are not prone to head gasket issues.
No, that's fine.
The only reason I had to do my head gasket is because that cylinder 4 was the spark plug was cross-threaded at one point in time. So I had to change out the head, so I actually had real compression in cylinder 4. I mean, outside of it, everything runs fine. There's no coolant oil mixing. There's no exhaust gas in the coolant system.
Coolants.
So I think it's fine.
Okay.
I just think even Tyson agrees that it's just, especially moving at such slow RPM, and the fact that I have my power steering, or not power steering, the full hydro steering coolant right next to my radiator, and moving at such slow speeds, I'm not actually getting any air movement. So I need to get that shroud on there.
Yeah, my
So-
OBS, the red truck used to overheat when I was doing too much because it didn't have a fan shroud, and I only put a fan shroud on it, and it made a difference. And same thing with my TJ when I LS swapped it. I ran it without a fan shroud, and we were overheating while snow wheeling. And then I was able to make the 4-liter fan shroud work with the fan I have. It got that
Yeah.
hot. And so it made a big difference, and it didn't overheat anymore with that either. So Tyson is correct in that fan shrouds do work.
And so if you remember correctly as well, Mike, when we went snow wheeling was that Christmas? We went up Skyliner.
Oh yeah.
I overheated.
When you didn't have any fuel.
Yes.
Yeah,
there
when
was
when you're out of
that as
gas.
well.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
also
Well-
had fuel this trip.
You were probably overheating that time because it was so lean that it wasn't able to use the fuel to reduce.
A little bit of a stretch, but you know,
Lean is mean.
I got parts.
I wanted
just
you to
need
have
fix shit.
I wanted that to be such a fun trip with your truck too. I was so excited about watching you snow wheel, and then you're like, "Oh well,
I can't do anything
break
fun.
trail and can't do the fun stuff."
That snow sucked anyway.
Yeah, it was not
It
good.
wouldn't have been any better.
ugh.
No, it was very frustrating snow.
Oh, and then the other thing that also happened on the birthday weekend is I want to say I KO'd my U-joint rear driveline U-joint transmission side. It got to the point where I was worried about getting it onto the trailer. There's no needle bearings left in any of the four. It's just slapping around inside.
Oh my god.
You can get on the trailer one-wheel drive.
Yeah.
You also cracked your transfer case cross member.
Yeah, I also did that too.
Jeez.
Nice.
Yeah, can opener's hard, guys. I don't know
Turns
if you knew
out.
this.
So if I had
It's pretty tough. one.
YJ on 33s, I probably shouldn't go try and do it.
No,
I mean,
so
you could go and try and do it. But
Yeah,
Here's the thing about
untested
Browns
on
Camp.
33s.
The thing about Browns Camp is that black diamond, single black diamond, yeah, no problem. 33s, open diffs, you're fine. Like, it's no harder than
For the
anything
most
we've
part.
for the
Yeah.
most part. But there's like a couple little hairy parts. I mean, we got a stock FJ through everything that the black diamond had to offer, minus a dent in a door. But once you hit double black diamond, it's like, okay, we are this fucking hard now, which is
Yeah,
what Soup Bowl at Rubicon.
it goes by orders of
entry level.
magnitude, not by steps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, it increases an exponential level. And then we stopped and looked at some of the triple black diamonds, and it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So you're
That's
saying I need to
really
sell the
hard.
white truck, put tons and 40s under the YJ,
Uh-huh.
full hydro, 529s,
Then you still might not be able
double
to do it.
locked, and then just go try.
I-
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
even be worried
Well,
about
it's
a
on the
YJ
table then.
wheelbase on 7-Up.
Oof. Yeah.
Like, so 7-Up is just this rock
Yeah.
face that is
Cliff face.
this, to the point where we're looking at it, it's like, ooh, we should
So
probably
stretch my wheel base a little bit.
Yeah,
then.
there you go.
Okay.
hmm
It
I
would
can
have
do
been
that.
perfect for my truck if I was going to do it, but I had snapped that outer stub shaft, and it was probably for the best because I had not known at that point in time that my U-joint was about to go. And if my U-joint went out on that hill, it would have been bad news bears.
I also stand by my assessment of anybody in our group that wants to try it, roll cage, or you're
Yeah.
not trying it. The risk is way too high for rollover on that. Like,
Yeah.
and when I mean rollover, I mean bad rollover. Like,
Yeah, you're going down
fall a long distance on top of your roof.
Have you seen? There's Rick Payway has Gone Jeepin', his little Jeep channel, and he doesn't do a whole lot, but he does a lot of like old iron runs. And they went and did Pritchett Canyon. It just came out a couple days ago, and it's these like World War era Jeeps, and they're doing
Oh yeah.
Pritchett Canyon. It's really cool, but there's a guy that got into a weird spot, front right locked up, and it wouldn't unlock, and he on that one tire going down a step caught, and it rolled, and then it rolled again, and it landed upside down. 2 rollovers with a single hoop, and it can opened the hoop afterwards, like on the rock. Dude's totally fine. Had nothing else to protect him. You could see in the video, he put his arms together and leaned back, and that was enough to protect him enough there. And he had to ratchet strap the sides of the Jeep back together because they had folded out the cage. The hoop had broken open. Like, dude drove the Jeep out. They flipped it over, added oil, and he drove it the rest of the way, did the rest of the trail, winched up a couple hills after that just because he didn't feel comfortable, and then got back into the swing of things and finished it. Well, he then started doing the hard obstacles again. And I'm like, all right, he's like probably in his late 60s, early 70s, this old dude, just like, well, that's probably best case scenario. We'll flip her back over and we'll get her on out of here. Just like, geez. But
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. When I watched him start to roll, I was like, there's not enough cage there. There's not enough cage there. This is going to be bad. And now, if I was ever to go do Pritchett Canyon, I'm going to have more of a cage after looking at that. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, some people get lucky.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I saw that rollover and it was like, holy shit, that's just luck.
Yeah.
You don't make it out of that without luck.
No. He was eating his Wheaties. He had plenty of vegetables. The spaghetti monster in the sky looked favorably upon him. Something. It was wild. What about you, Sean? Anything new? Have you talked about that little trip, the Toyota trip you said in the group chat on here yet?
No, I did go with the local Toyota club, I suppose. They're Rising Sun 4x4, which is they're not just Toyota only, I don't think, but they're like a chapter of the Land Cruiser Club.
Japanese.
Yeah. But it's all Toyotas. But I went on a little run. They had an interesting little
Rising Sun. That means one thing.
yes.
Japan.
I went on a little run with them to a local trail that I hadn't been to because I've been almost nowhere. So that was good, and it was okay. It was definitely better than, no offense to the Land Cruiser Club of Central Oregon, but it was a little better than the time I went out with those guys. They do also have like a everybody needs to air down situation, but this was actually some real wheeling, so that was tolerable. But pretty neat little loop trail that we went on. It had a couple hard sections, and there was another 80 series, a guy that I met recently that has an LS in it, and it's 3-linked in the front. So him and I and somebody with a 3rd gen 4Runner with like lockers and 33s did all the hard lines that are not that hard, but they got after it. It was pretty fun. So we saw a rolled YJ out there, which was kind of interesting. He was going backwards on the trail because he had rolled over and wanted to not be on the trail anymore, and nobody could figure out where he rolled it because there was like nothing that you should have been able to roll your view. I did 3-wheel pretty hard in one spot, but it was not like it was just one of those situations where you've all been there where you like don't have the front locker in or something, and it just starts like climbing, and you're like, oh, we're okay now, it's fine. So
yeah,
but yeah.
So you're gonna 3-link your truck?
Yeah,
now?
after looking at his the exhaust routing is doable. It's just a little bit of work, but his rig is cool. It's a black Lexus LX 450, so a little fancier than mine. Not not really that much different, but a little bit. But it's got a 6.2 and a 6L80 in it, so Gen
Yeah.
4 LS stuff, which was really nice. It's I don't know if you ran into this with your Jeep or if Jesse, if you've done this with like other Toyota crawlers or Colin. I don't know if you've had a lot of opportunity to wheel with other vehicles just like yours because you're always in such a unique rig. But wheeling with another vehicle that's pretty much the same as yours or really close is always fun. Like I always find that like the 80s on Edison thing is fun, and all those things that I've done.
Yeah.
There's like an extra thing about you're all taking the same line, or somebody takes a line that you didn't consider, but then you're like, oh, well, I could definitely do that because that one did it, and it was fun. They're an all right group of guys. It's not you guys. It's not hanging out with my regular buddies.
What a
but
guy.
they're all
Nah.
very nice, and they have a range of vehicles. There were two. That was the thing I was actually going to bring up on the podcast. There were two brand new Tacomas in that group. One of the trail hunters, and then the other one's just like a tier 80 off road or whatever. And they were impressive.
Yeah.
They like reminded me of Jesse's third gen and Steve's, like in different ways. The trail hunter guy like did some of the harder things that are not that hard, but relatively moderate wheeling, I would say. Blue is what they would be, a blue, not a black diamond, but a blue. But I watched, a 65-year-old man at least that definitely said he had no off-roading experience point that thing through stuff that I was like, oh, whoa, okay, that's the line you're going to take.
Cool.
And it just did it. So it was kind of cool.
That's fun.
Yeah. They had a funny conversation on the radio on the way down about lockers because the older gentleman with the trail hunter was like learning about lockers. He's a car guy. It sounds like he has like done road racing or something. So he like mechanically understands most of the things, but somebody was talking about like a true track locker, right? And he was like, oh, it's like a mechanical locker. So when it slips, it locks the other side, right? That's essentially how it works. And he's like, oh, okay, great. Just a regular limited slip, just more aggressive. Yep. And then everybody was like, yes, because you'd never want it, locked all the time. And they kind of like went back and forth about that. And somebody was like, well, you can't lock it all the time. And then they just went down this path for a few minutes. And I was like, I don't want to be that guy, but like, you absolutely can. And people regularly do.
I had an XJ with a spool in the rear, and it
I said
went to the trail and it came back, and
there are spools. That's what that is. Like there are welded diffs and there are spools, but spools are the like right way, in quotes, to do that.
Quote unquote.
I was just already building it, and I had to buy a carrier, and like otherwise I would have welded it also.
Yeah.
There's a 14 bolt. You got room to put beads in there.
Oh yeah. That's the way my crawler is. Yeah. It's welded front and rear.
Yeah.
I just had the smaller carrier, and I was going to larger. I think I was doing 513s in that or something, and so I needed to change carriers, and so I had to do all that anyway. I might as well throw a spool in it because it was like $91 because it's just a chunk of metal that's connected on both sides. So,
fun times though.
That's cool,
Jesse.
Go
ahead.
Oh, to talk on the people that have a similar rig to you thing. I've wheeled with people who have similar rigs to me, but I don't think I've wheeled with, in those types of group settings, people who have similar fuck it.
Yeah.
Right foot.
Yeah. Skill,
willingness,
ambition.
Style. I don't know. Yeah, willingness,
similar ambitions,
confidence. I guess I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Because all the time in the XJ people, they're like, no. Until Tyson got an XJ, and I haven't had one really with him very often.
Very often.
I've had two with him, but not very long.
Not very long.
Yeah. But like most of the time, you get in there. Oh, you can't do that. And I was like, I think if you tried hard enough, you could.
See this?
And the same thing.
Watch it.
Yeah. Same thing with JK people for the longest time. Like, they're like, oh, that seems. And I was like, I'm trying buggy lines. Like, we're so big and steady, and like there's no step up that's going to be too high. I get into it and I'll just back out of it.
Yeah.
And if I break something, I'll fix it. But there's not a lot of, and I'm sure you probably run into a similar thing with Toyota people.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because it's got to be a lot of like, oh, well. And then Jesse, probably on the other side, you probably run into equal sides of Toyota people that are like, I wonder how long I can stay on the rev limiter, and just, I'm going to get up it.
Yeah, there's the guys that are like, I'm not going that hard.
Yeah.
I've seen that. And then I've also really with the third gen, I really did not ever want to go wheeling with that group
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
people because it was just like, you guys are kind of ninnies. Like, let's try
Yeah.
some harder shit here. Like, let's get stuck and work through this. Let's make our adversity.
Yeah.
And it just felt like a lot of that group was not very into that. They wanted to baby step it, and that's okay. I'm not trying to dog on that mentality because they're expensive trucks. I get it. And I
Yeah.
got a bad case of the buckets sometimes, and I don't expect everybody to do that. And I see that a lot when individuals approach me and ask me like, "Hey, what lift should I do?" I'm like, "Oh, you only need 2.5 inches of lift. You could get 37s under that thing. It'll be a
Yeah.
little
Just
bit of
start cutting
rubbing.
this and do that.
Just
And yeah.
yeah, just cut." They're like,
Mhm.
"Well, I don't want to cut anything, and I don't want rubbing." I'm like, "Come on, if you're not rubbing, like you're not trying."
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've thought about that. I've talked about this with Haley before, but she never grew up in any kind of off-roading. She didn't have any idea to it. And so she has a sympathy mechanically for vehicles that is different than mine. Because I had a Bronco that ran on 7 or 8 cylinders, depending on what it wanted to do, and I would jump it regularly. And sometimes I would jump it and it would run better, and sometimes I would jump it and it would run worse. But I would jump it as often as possible. And like from there, I had XJs and I had different things that were in a similar vein where I'm like, I think if I bump this tree, this $500 XJ, back when they were still $500, would still be worth $500. And so I'm not worried about it. And folks get into off-roading later in life. And I just don't think that they had that like cheap beater, I'm a young guy, I'm going to try this line mentality from the get. And I think that that's just a product of where they're coming at it from, because they've always been like, if I get a dent in my car, that is a problem. And you're like, well, if you're wheeling hard and you get a dent in your car, it's kind of a badge. You destroy a door, that's one thing, but like, it's not as big a deal to have a skid plate that has been skid plating
Yeah.
to me.
There was a conversation at the beginning of this run about that thing a little bit, like hey,
Mhm.
this is a varied trail. There are a couple play areas and like areas to, go. Don't go there if you're not comfortable. Like we're in a big group and somebody will spot you if you want it, but if you don't want to spot, that's okay too. Tell the person, like just be vocal
Yeah.
about what you're doing. And and then his second line was kind of like, if you're here with your buddy and you want to egg him on, like that's cool, but like don't egg on the person you don't know, that you don't know their skill level, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
that can be inappropriate. And I was kind of like, damn, I kind of agree with that. Part of me like
Yeah.
thinks, because I get like,
Yes,
so
but also
it's
I
that,
would want to be like, but I bet you could do it,
yeah,
man.
exactly.
Come on, you
Well,
should
it's
probably
like
do it. Tell me,
the
what's going to happen?
like the action sports thing, right? Like the riding bikes or the skateboarding or snowboarding or whatever. Like
Yeah.
if you're in a big group of people, that's how you progress a lot of times, is by egging each other on.
Yeah.
So there's always that little bit of it too.
It's
So
called peer pressure.
yeah,
It creates
But-
it creates growth sometimes, and sometimes it's too much, and I get
sometimes
that.
it's too much.
But
Yeah.
but
So-
that creates like you in a situation that you didn't plan on being in, and you got to figure it out, and that's kind of the puzzle of off-roading.
Sometimes.
I liked that. That was one of my favorite things about the Rubicon, was that it was a big puzzle, and I got to put you through something and you through something and see which way worked better. And then I learned a little more that Sean's rig likes these kinds of, steps in this thing, and I can put him over those rocks easier, and then I have to take somebody else. It's a cool puzzle it's a high stakes puzzle in some conditions and situations, but like, it's like I mentally have to figure out on the fly with significant risk to my friends or myself how to make this work. And I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of fun.
Definitely.
So back to the don't give a fuck skinny pedal conversation. I heard a laugh from Tyson the 40th birthday weekend I have never heard in my entire life. And it was, we were doing one of the more difficult trails. It's just a boulder field up this hill. And it would just ended up being Colin and I's rig that went up, and everybody else turned around to go back and loop
They all got
around.
scared.
Yeah, they all got a little scared.
Come on, guys. I know you're listening.
Gotta try.
But, and this is the point in time where I had snapped my stub shaft and realized it, and I was in 3-wheel drive. And so I was just like, I don't really care at this point in time. I already snapped the stub shaft. What's the worst thing that could happen? And so in 4 low low, I pinned that thing in 3rd gear, just bouncing up this hill. And both Tyson and I are doing the Ace Ventura up this hill. And Tyson just starts laughing, this like almost cackle. And I was like, I did not know that this man could laugh like this. I'm going to keep doing this.
This is a new noise and I like it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Robert ripped his rear flares off.
Oh, good.
yeah.
He needed new ones anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was he out there with his lift and tires?
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then the FJ Cruiser got a dent in the door,
Oops.
in the third door.
Oh.
And
The
then
little door.
yeah, and Shakria wheeled the 100 series
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
and did really well.
Good.
Aaron
she
was
did
talking about that a little
fantastic.
bit.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah. We need to go out and do some more because I would like to find some. I'd figure out what I'm going to bring. The F-250 would probably be too much for a lot of that.
You would not make it through some of those trails.
Most of it.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm pretty I'm aware.
very narrow up there.
It's just
But if
super
I get
narrow.
If I get a YJ running, and it's a
There you go.
happy camper.
And that was what was fun about Brown's Camp, by the way, is that all the trails are, I mean, what, maybe 0.8 miles long at the most, and then some were down to like 0.2, but everything loops back into a standard Forest Service road. So if you don't
Yeah.
feel comfortable, you can go around and meet everybody at the end, and then you can all just end up at camp.
It's cool.
And
The camp area, is it like
There's lots of places to camp.
yeah,
We didn't camp like at the staging area.
okay?
There's
'Cause
all kinds of places you can go and just boondock camp.
for
out there.
me, so we bought a toy hauler. We bought a
of course you did.
21-foot RV, and if I put the right tires on it, the YJ will fit in currently. And so
It
in
would
my
make
head,
it
I was
down
like,
there.
man, wouldn't it be cool if I could bring the camper down? That way I can have a place to camp, a home base with a generator and air conditioning, and the YJ in there. That would have been fun.
You could easily make it where we
weight-wise.
camped.
Yeah, weight-wise, I would have to be mindful because it's technically like right on the edge of what the trailer's rated for. But
That's
yeah, I figure you can break the rule like at least 10 times before anything starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
I would
Definitely drive it down a bumpy dirt road with too much load in it.
Well, you just
Yeah.
would stop there, you'd unload it, and then you'd have a Jeep and a
Well,
truck
the
and trailer.
road to the campsite that we went to is not bumpy. It's all
Well, and
nice graded gravel because they also do logging up there. So they're running logging trucks with like, I mean, what we saw a couple low boys with D9 dozers on them. So if they can make it down that trail or road, you can make it.
Well, and even if I couldn't, I have a tow bar assembly for the front of the Jeep that I can just hook onto the back of the white truck and tent camp still and have all our stuff and the same setup and still tow it out there.
Yeah.
Because so we ended up going to Oregon Country Fair instead of your deal there, and it was because we had already
Yeah.
had
I
that
know what's
planned and
most
had tickets
important.
and all this stuff. No, I hated it. I fucking hated it. I didn't like being surrounded by that many people. I didn't like the way it smelled. The only
You
good
mean
thing
like
was
weed and patchouli?
Royce. No, just straight BO constantly. It was like 100 degrees, and it's not for me. Not my
I
thing.
thought you.
I did
never
not
mind.
find
I
joy.
think that your
but-
chart on how you felt about this event has done a little bit of this over the years, because I feel like you were like really anti, and then you were really in, and now I feel you've obviously come back down the mountain.
I really wanted to be into it
Okay.
because Haley is very much into it, and I want to support her in the thing that she very much enjoys. And so I was getting amped and trying to get excited about it. And then I got there again, and I hated it. It's just too many people, and I don't like people that much. I don't want to be pressed up against them, especially when I'm the only one that showered in the last 5 days. So it's one of those things, and it's not the kind of music I like, and I don't want to go sit in a yoga studio that's outdoors on a hay that's full of, it's the only shade, so everybody's in there and they're doing hot yoga because it's 100 degrees outside. And the food doesn't exciting to me, except I got one burrito on the last day.
Oh, from our
and it was
guy.
delicious.
Big shout
Yep.
out to Rita's Burritos.
Oh, yeah.
You can
It was
find them
wonderful.
at the country fair.
Yeah, Oregon Country Fair. They are there. And gave me a big hug, and we took a picture with a burrito, and I held it like a baby because it was about that size. It was freaking huge.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my high point of the whole fair. There were guys trying to like juggle knives, and they drop them all the time. It was weird. It's just weird. So I wish that I was at your thing. Is all I'm saying. If you do it again next year on the same weekend as fair, I already told Haley. I was like, I'll drop you off at fair, and then I will just continue on my own.
If you don't want to go to fair, I'm more than happy to make my birthday the same thing again.
I think that sounds
There
great.
you go.
Even if I just have to bring the dual sport and I ride my KLX over, I'll actually do it this time and just.
There's a shitload of motorcycle trails up there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I just need Jesse, you got to make room for me to camp with you.
That's easy, man.
I'm just going to show up on a dirt bike with nothing else and hope that there's enough water and food and a
I got a
place to sleep.
You're going to be the guy that
Single
hasn't
tent right
showered
there.
for 5 days.
Yeah. I will be the guy
Oh.
that hasn't showered. Yeah.
No, that was the nice thing about where we camped, because there was a old quarry pit that was filled with water, and
Oh,
the
nice.
water wasn't cold, but it wasn't warm. So it wasn't cold
Yeah.
enough to where you felt like, White River in 100-degree
Yeah.
weather. You're like, oh my God, this is fucking freezing. But
balls still
it's
exist.
also not warm enough to where you feel like you're going to get a parasite.
Right.
So, Saturday morning, I woke up pretty hungover, and I didn't say anything. I just got out of the tent, I grabbed my soap, and I walked right into that pit and just got into the water and washed off. It felt amazing.
Nice.
It
Yeah.
was also nice directly after wheeling all day.
I bet.
Yes, 100%.
I bet.
With
You
no
Still
AC,
just warm
windows down.
enough, and then just go
Yeah.
down there, get right in, rinse all the dirt off.
And you were the guy with AC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I still
and
wheel.
windows
I still
up.
wheel with my windows down
Wow.
half the time, because looking at stuff. But
Looking
Yeah.
at stuff.
yeah, Sean and I need to formally apologize.
Oh.
But it's your guys' fault that
Cool.
we're apologizing.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware.
Oh,
Because
Me and Jesse specifically, or you guys as in like the greater you guys?
the greater you guys
group? Okay.
of this podcast
Got
that
it.
is called
The Campfire
Passport Podcast.
brought to you in part by Win Home Inspection.
Yeah.
We got
That's me.
some comments on Sean and my conversation about the best and
Oh,
worst
the engines.
engines.
Oh.
And I have to apologize to Austin Has a Beard because, and like, again, it's your guys' fault.
Fair.
Because it's just Sean and I trying to come up with things with not, a whole lot of preemptive thought. He says, I feel like the OM617 deserves honorable mention for simplicity and no computer as far as the diesels go. And I feel absolutely terrible that I forgot the entire OM line when we are talking about diesels.
I haven't.
And
Wait a minute.
being
Yeah.
some
Don't-
of the best
don't
diesels out
Tack
there.
me onto this apology. I don't care about those things that much.
Oh, wow. Big statement
They're
right there.
fine, but
If your beard is mad, then you can be mad
Wow.
at Sean.
Yeah.
Sean. Okay, so Sean doesn't like the OMs.
So
Fine.
I haven't listened to that one yet, so it's on
No,
my.
you're gonna have to go back and listen.
I will.
because I'm not gonna talk about it anymore.
All I want to know is if the 4-liter was on the list.
Of good gassers, yes.
Good
Yes,
gassers.
of course
Okay.
it was.
As long as
course it
that's
was.
there, that's what I would have brought to the table. So whether I was there or
Jesse
not, that's
did
no
have a
difference.
gripe with Sean though
Yeah.
Oh man.
on that. So
When you were sitting there thinking about you're like, there's another bad gasser that's right on the tip of my tongue, and I don't know. And it was like, I'm sitting there screaming in my truck. I'm like, the 3VZE, you asshole.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
3 liter. Yep.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
like,
pretty
God
bad.
damn it.
They are pretty bad. That's a good point.
It is the worst Toyota motor they ever made
but again, that's on you guys
for
Well,
not being here.
for
I wouldn't have.
A, giving the
Why-
idea of topic, and B, then not showing up.
Yeah, why did you
Mhm.
make
I would
us
have
do this
only
to you?
talked about the 4-liter.
Yeah, you made us do it by ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have
So
only talked about the 4-liter.
the
I have no
results
other options.
are on you.
Well, hey,
Yeah, that's
I'd
my
have
fault.
brought Chevy 350s and 4-liters to the conversation, and other than that, I got nothing.
before we get more,
Chevy 350.
even more off topic,
Hmm.
there was,
We had a topic yet?
yeah,
We're
Jesse
off
had a game,
Oh yeah,
but I
yeah.
wanted to bring up really quickly 2 pieces of news that won't be relevant by the time that this comes out, I'm sure.
Beautiful.
I want to give
Okay.
a moment of silence to Speed Hunters because it died
Oh.
like 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
So
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know about you guys, but Speed Hunters was massively influential for me.
I was unaware.
Yep, it is
Did not
gone.
know.
So,
Hmm.
and then the other thing.
Do we skip the
That
moment
was
of
a-
silence
that was
part?
a short silence.
Oh,
Yeah.
shh.
Great. Okay. Cool.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I was like, I
was
want to
a
give a moment of
speedy
silence, and then I'm going to
silence.
talk continuously until we're
Yeah.
doing the next topic.
I was thinking the
All right.
Speedy
silence
silence
would
for
just come
speed
at
hunters.
just end on a moment of silence.
Yeah, that's the end of-
It's as long as they want it to be.
Exactly. The other thing was
Uh.
silly. I don't know if you guys saw this on any automotive things, but Hertz introduced a like vehicle scanner for rental cars. Nobody else seen this? It's pretty
No.
crazy. So
No.
basically, when you bring a rental car back in, it'll scan and has an automated an AI system that scans for damage, and it will automatically bill you for the damage, which is pretty wild. And apparently, it's quite the mess so far in rollout. It sounds like people are very upset about it. So
Really?
yeah,
I can't
what
imagine
kind of
why.
damage?
Wow.
What kind of damage does your car know happen? Like,
it can sense.
it-
It can see like a ding or like a scrape or things that the human would likely just miss because they're just they get paid nothing and they're
So they're
it's like a
probably
camera
scanning with,
around
like,
the
a-
outside.
Yep.
Yeah, it's probably
Full
using
scan.
like light
Got it. I
refraction.
thought it was like plugged into the ECU
Oh,
and
no,
the
no,
car
no.
was
No,
just
it's
like
like a-
tattling on
it's
you.
basically like driving the car through a scanner that tells you that there's damage. So
I'm sorry,
yeah, pretty lame.
I cannot perform this. And you're like,
Hmm.
what are the ways that we can trick that? That's my question.
Well, apparently
the
real catch is that it sends you like an automated thing. So it'll say, like there was damage found on the car. We estimate the damage to be, just use an arbitrary number, $500. If you pay us
Right.
$300 right now, then we'll accept that as payment and we won't pursue it further. So they're basically
What if I got
just
the
like
$15
trying to rake
worth of
in the money.
insurance?
Yeah, so
people
they're trying
won't-
to preemptively
Yeah.
rake it. Yeah.
People won't.
What if you get the
Right,
insurance
yeah.
then?
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, I got the $40 insurance, so now I don't have to pay
Mhm.
$500.
Pro
for
tip.
the-
Then you've
Pro-
got the fastest car on
Pro
earth.
tip,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Almost every credit card covers you on that. But
Oh,
by the
yeah.
way, you don't have to buy the extra insurance. I'm just telling you all. As long as you have a
There's
regular
a lot
credit
of
card, probably
Weird
covers
benefits
it.
to like Visa cards and things that people don't think about.
You got to book it with that. By the way, Morgan.
What's the guy's name?
Hmm.
Frank. Frank Castle? No. Who's the guy that catch
The Punisher?
the Punisher? Yeah, that's all I was thinking.
man.
That's Frank something else. He was the Catch Me If You Can guy. That was a true story.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, but the guy that he was pretending to be.
Okay.
Anyway, that guy's name's Frank. He said that he has not used a debit card ever in his life. He only ever uses a credit card,
pretty-
and he pays it off right away. Because
That's what I
if
do.
your debit card gets stolen and they steal your money, that money is gone.
Well, that's
If your
actually
credit
not
card
true.
gets stolen. Well,
because it's a Visa.
if they have a physical
if it's
copy
a
of
Visa or like MasterCard debit card, it has the same
debit
protections.
card, then that's
but
different. Yeah.
Anyways,
But
it is a
the debit
beneficial
card,
thing
yeah.
to do.
Yeah, like it's required by law, and they have to give you the money back no matter what. Even if they have your credit card and your PIN number, and they're going and spending it, you get that back. He's like, it's got all kinds of other protections in it. Like if you get, something happens and you gotta return something, but they won't give you your money back. Well, Visa will just take it.
Yep.
And it's like, that's cool.
All sorts of good stuff.
Anyway,
financial tips on
Jesse,
the
what's your
Campfire
game?
Passport podcast.
Frank
This
Abagnale.
I like
Okay.
Castle better.
Oh, geez. Jesse has a clipboard.
Oh, it's a clipboard and a notebook.
It's a storage clipboard.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's a
You're practically a
construction
cop
box.
with that thing.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, this is
With-
for
I
construction.
plead the fifth.
Copstruction. Yeah.
Copstruction.
Copstruction.
So just as an aside, we're already at an hour.
Yeah.
Should we just keep going and
Oh, yeah.
and turn it into 2?
Oh my
Because I
God,
would
that'd
love
be
to turn it
awesome.
into 2. Like
We could do this as part
like-
1.
Right. This our preamble here that we were just bullshitting for the entire time can be part
Oh, wow.
1, and then we can do Jesse's thing, and that'll be part 2. So
On the next episode of the Campfire Passport
essentially,
podcast.
I can, and even if that makes the second one slightly short,
Yeah.
whatever, that's fine.
Let's do it.
But what that means is we could do like a quick.
For that.
Would you pay money for this?
Mhm.
And then we can end the next one with another quick.
We should do
Would you pay
a
money for this?
single would you pay money for this, and then a moment of silence, and that's
How about 2?
Okay. I'm in.
all right. Yeah.
I've got 2. Would you pay money for this?
I'll put my board away.
I'm going to pee on the
Yeah,
break.
Jesse.
Just for now.
Just so I'm throwing that out there.
Can you
What break?
No.
We're gonna have
not
a break.
breaking yet.
No,
got
we're just gonna keep going.
No, he's got a would you pay money for that?
We gotta pay money for it
Yeah,
first.
and then there's a break.
Okay.
Moment of silence.
All right. Sean wasn't fast enough. Oh, there he is. Okay. You have to wait, Sean. Okay. Where am I starting?
The one that has the most lug nuts per wheel.
Okay.
Most lug nuts per wheel. Okay. That is this guy right here. All right. Share. Come on. Share.
Sunny.
Sunny and share.
Oh, is that?
Okay.
There we go.
03 Dynamax Starflight.
Yes.
Oh,
49,000. Wow, we already. Well,
Yes.
There you
Yes. Now, tell me about how good my purchase
49,000.
is.
So it's 03 4x4 Dynamax 161 with a CSL L dinette.
God,
21
that-
feet long, Triton V10, 124,000 miles, 4x4, 6-inch lift, rough country.
No.
Rear dual airbags, rear dualies, Wild Peak 35s, brake rotors replaced, fiberglass exterior, sidewall structure, full steel cage, microwave, 2-burner stove, 3 cubic foot, 3-way refrigerator, propane heat, solid oak cabinets, flex steel swivel leather captain's chairs, above captain storage, and mounted TV. Twin couch behind the driver's seat pulls out to a bed for 2 small children or 1 adult. Rear lounge, you're missing an E, L-shaped couch that pulls out into a bed. So he's got a pull-out game, and sleeps 2 adults. Rear coach bathroom, shower, vanity, carbon monoxide detector, LP leak detector, ground fault circuits, monitor panel, emergency start switch, vacuum formed steel reinforced sidewalls with 3/4-inch foam insulation, generator on board. It's an Onan 4000.
Man.
And it's down in Fallbrook, California.
You lost me at the V10, Triton V10, and rough country lift.
Yeah, the Triton V10 is not that bad.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just as
its-
bad as any of the other ones, but
Rather have it than a 5.4.
It looks cool. I'll give it that. And he did put a boatload of work into it. Like,
Wait a
all in
second.
all, it's nice, but
That shock is in a spring spring bucket. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Well, because this would have
Originally,
been
yeah.
this would have been a
2.0.
coil 2-wheel
Yeah.
drive deal. So
Should be a coil 4-wheel drive deal now, but it's not.
yeah.
You want to know something funny?
That's also hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
What year was it? Yeah, 03. So yeah, so that doesn't make any sense at all
At all.
because 03 is still leaf spring on these Fords
Even on a
But-
2-wheel drive.
On the 2-wheel drive, it was
because it's a van chassis.
yeah, it was still.
It was it's coil.
So this is 21 feet long.
Yes.
Do you want to know how long my F250 is? 20 and a half.
Same length.
Okay.
This is-
all right.
Half a foot longer than my truck that I currently have. So
I wonder
I'm not
if
worried
that's
about that at all.
actually a 21-foot RV section, though. No, it's not. It doesn't look like it's that long. Never mind.
I mean, even if it is, it's 5 feet longer than my current truck.
It's sweet. I'm into it.
It's rad.
I'm also a yes.
And it has a awning that has
I'm with
like
Jesse.
it's an electric awning.
Oh,
It's
man.
super cool.
Like, don't get me wrong. I love the paint on that thing. It's so cool. It looks
Yeah.
really cool.
It's cool,
and
but I
the
just
work
I
is
can't do it.
They did a lot of work, but there's just a couple things I'm like, nah.
I don't
you
know what
wasted
I
your
use
time.
it for, but I like it. Because I definitely
Uh,
wouldn't take it on too serious of a camp trip. It would be a regular camping trip kind of vehicle, but man, it looked cool doing it.
No, but I would take it to Brown's camp with a Jeep attached to the back of it and enjoy the heck out of it.
Side story about V10s and towing. Might not be the best idea. Freaking John blew up the engine in the Excursion that he just got
Oh
on his first trip towing.
Yeah.
He didn't even. He made it. From what I could tell, he made it to the observatory, the lava field.
Oh yeah, Pine Mountain.
Pine
or-
Mountain.
Yeah.
Or no, not Pine Mountain. South.
Over
the
126
lava-
or whatever. Or not
The what?
126. Over Mackenzie.
No, straight south. He was headed to
Oh,
Shasta.
Lava Butte. Got it.
Lava Butte.
Got it.
He made it there, and she's a knocking on the door.
Ah, you know, additional funny story. My neighbors bought a V10 RV, and it was like a 30-foot, RV with a V10, and it had like 40,000 miles. They were really excited about it. They got the warranty. Blew up first trip. Just shattered. Holes in the block. Everything toast. But they got the warranty, so it got completely replaced. They have a brand new engine in their 2006 RV. That's cool.
Huh.
Next up is a 81 924 Turbo for $24,000. This comes from the lifted cars scene. So said to have remained parked from early 2000s till 2019, at which time it was refurbished and outfitted with safari-style equipment, comprising of a lift suspension system, two 1575 BFGs, auxiliary lights, roof rack with trail tools, turbocharged 2-liter inline 4 rebuilt, small pistons, replacement bearings, yada yada, overhauling fuel injection system, placing clutch. Just did a bunch of stuff. 15-inch ATS wheels, 4-disc brakes, 911 front seats, air conditioning, and conventional stereo receiver.
Continental.
Okay. Continental, sorry. Following the seller's 2022 purchase of the car, rebuilt axles with
Man, this was quite the
with
description.
MPCVs. 5-speed manual, air conditioning was rebuilt, fluids changed, clutch hydraulic cylinders replaced. Holy cow. I am not reading all this.
No,
I wouldn't.
Please
Good
don't.
God.
Got a lot of words.
He's really confident.
God, there's so much on there. Anyway, I'm a no because lifted cars are dumb and this is the wrong Porsche to begin with.
Yeah, here's the thing. I have come around on 944s. I think they're okay, especially turbos. 924s almost never for me. This is maybe the best one I've ever seen, though. Maybe not the best one, but it's like top 2 or 3 for sure.
Best of the worst.
Yeah,
I'm
I like
amazed
it. I
that
think it's cool.
somebody
I'm into it.
bought it for that price.
The price,
It does seem.
but the car is cool.
So you're a
But
yes?
would you
I
pay
think
money for
I
it?
think I would pay not that money for sure, but I'd pay a quarter of
That's
that
not
money
the point of
all
the
day
game,
long.
Sean.
The point of the game
Okay.
He
is
said all day long. He said all day long.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
I figure I'm going to be the only yes on this one. So
I'm just not into that kind of thing.
I'm definitely going to say no, but can we go back to this video of him going like 10 miles an hour down a dirt road?
look at it go.
I thought it was
Well,
going to
he
be
may not
something
have sold it.
impressive.
Yeah, he probably traded it. I was
He
just
could have
reading that. Yeah.
trade for FJ40, Defender 90, Mercedes Wolf, so actual 4-wheel drives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
makes
just
sense.
don't drive this like I should. See, Jesse, he knows it.
He even admits, I just
Yeah.
don't drive
Yeah.
it like I should.